In today's video, I'll demonstrate some real ways to cheat on an online test that is proctored. Watch this video through to the very end, because in the end I'll reveal the guaranteed method to bypass proctored exam. For those who are unaware, a proctored exam is one in which your professor watches you through monitoring software that uses your laptop webcam. Mine uses HonorLock. I felt nervous on the first day of class and emotionally drained when I heard that, because it uses AI software, which can detect unusual activity. For instance, it will prevent you from opening new tabs and lock all of your programs running in background. Additionally, this AI software can track secondary devices, such as smartphones via Wi-Fi, actually via IP address, so you are unable to use your phone. I will therefore discuss that in greater detail later. On top of that, it will also look for suspicious facial expressions. Also, once you take this test, additionally, refrain from leaving the room while taking proctored exam because it will be considered as suspicious activity. It will also require you to confirm that you are the one taking the exam, get your student ID, and let the camera scan it. You must literally pick up your laptop and scan the room to make sure no one is helping you. It will also check if you have anything on your desk or under your desk, so you must scan and show it. The use of a mobile device is strictly prohibited. Since I have cleared everything regarding proctored exam, now I'll show you some cheating methods for your online proctored exam. They're really helpful and pretty cool. First, you can go to Microsoft Word if you like, but it's not strictly necessary. However, if you can obtain a standard piece of paper, you could print it, cut it in half, and simply write down your notes on it. Not too small, though. They are large enough for you to read, which will undoubtedly aid you in your exam. You should position this on the very bottom portion of this screen and directly above your laptop's keyboard. I recommend printing out a sheet and slicing it in half after you've typed in your very small file. This will help with the blind spot that your webcam cannot pick up. I believe there's a setting in Microsoft Word where you can make it really small and align the words to a specific corner of the page, if that makes sense. That being said, it is certainly doable and, in fact, extremely useful. The second method involves using your own phone. But before you begin the 360-degree scan, make sure you have it and try to hide it. In this manner, your professor won't catch you at all. If you've done that correctly, you should simply place your phone close to you rather than far away, because AI software will look for unusual activity based on your typing speed and the location of your hands. Guys, this is kinda insane. You need a black or white case, any case that matches your desk where you put your phone, so they can't see it during your 360 scan. In fact, it's quite useful because once it's close enough that they can't see it, you can start the exam by swiftly grabbing your phone, placing it where you'd normally put your paper, and reading the questions off your screen while lightly scrolling, all while they can't see you. In third method, you need to turn off all lights and electronics just before you begin testing. Just make light dim instead of turn them off entirely. Since the laptop constantly tries to make the screen appear more realistic, it is unlikely to detect this. Your professor won't even notice if the webcam's exposure is increased because it's somewhat dark. That's what you want to do, and then maximize the brightness on your screen. Additionally, if you wear glasses, you should simply increase the brightness. Since you want to get as much glare as possible despite the abundance of light at the moment, this is a poor example. Thus, it will appear somewhat bright when you look at the tests. Glare makes it impossible for the professor and AI software to detect your eyes, so you'll have to settle for looking at your phone instead. It'll be significantly larger on your glasses, along with other indicators of suspicious behavior, such as facial expressions. That is one of the things that the software looks for. It's not a perfect system, but we aim to minimize. This next trick is really helpful to cheat. This next method also requires you to use your phone. The first thing you should do is to turn off the Wi-Fi just before the test begins. then grab the phone that was close to you and was hidden during the scanning process previously. That way, when you turn on your phone, they can't use the IP address to locate your secondary device, which is how they find secondary devices like that. Because they can't track this down, you should simply turn off your Wi-Fi just before the test begins and turn on your 4G mobile data. Since the Wi-Fi and this are two different things, they do not share an IP address. You should not be confused with the Wi-Fi. You are the one who is paying for the 4G service. It has nothing to do with Wi-Fi. Thus, they will not be able to identify your phone as a secondary source if you use 4G while on the clock during your exam. Thus, it will be ideal. Do that in addition to the other method where the phone is placed directly above the keyboard. And you should be all set. Guys, this is a really good way to cheat. That's all I have to say about how to cheat on a proven method. I discovered a simple, foolproof way to administer proctored exams using webcams in 2025, because I know that the old methods are either ineffective or cause students unnecessary stress. By installing a proprietary program on the student's laptop, I am able to remotely connect and bypass the proctored exam. Once everything is set up, it seems like students will be sitting in front of laptops. But in reality, I will be using my covert app to remotely select the correct answers for them. Without putting yourself in danger, this is the safest and most secure method to bypass proctored exam. If you need assistance with your proctored exam and would like to get a grade of A or B, don't miss out on this chance. Fill out the form in the description. One of the best things about working with me is that I do not require payment in advance. Instead, you only pay once your exam has been successfully completed.